Hello, everyone. I'm Alison, and welcome to my weekly Meltdowns coverage of Survivor 37, David versus Goliath. Spoiler alert, we're going to talk about it got voted off and stuff. So why are you here if you don't want to know? That gave you a chance to leave. So Lyrsa went tonight. I'm a little
that was messed up.
Happy about that. But I was wanting Angelina to go. We've got Joy-Con Thomas in the chat. My mom. Hi, Mom. I'm a little quiet tonight because, hello, Bonita. I'm a little quiet tonight because my little baby, Phoebe Michelle, got spayed today. And she's asleep at my feet in her little bed. And she's cutting me the side eye heavily this evening. Okay?
I just don't get how they could vote out someone like Lyrsa, who is like, she'll be an amazing goat to take to the end.
Not only that, but like Angelina, like she really, I feel like Angelina really should have gone tonight.
Absolutely. She's a savage. Why would you keep someone like Angelina who's a freaking savage?
There's not going to be any goats left to drag, and she's going to go straight to the Goliaths, right back to them, and game over, and they're going to wish that they had kept Lyrsa. I'm really curious as to what moment, when was, what happened between Mike and Nick that made them think that this was a good decision. I don't understand it. And I just want to point out, we're going to go over the episode, but Jeff Probst got a big old hard on for just going off about the purple team. I don't know. It's just every day, oh, they're screwing up. There goes Lyrsa jacking it up for everybody.
Yeah, that was actually in my notes that he was like especially obnoxious tonight. Like, of course, he's like always obnoxious, but especially tonight, he was just like really going to town on the purple team, and I felt so bad for them. Like they physically, like literally, could not do it.
If it had been me on that ladder, if it had been me on that ladder, I would have turned around and said, "Hey, Probst, we get it, Jeff. Okay, just." Why don't you get up here and do this? In 20
Jonathan
years,
Penner used to do that.
In 20 years, have you ever done this, Jeff? Come on, Jeff. Come on, big mouth. Come on.
Well,
let's go.
Penner used to do that, and Jeff would like give him lip right back. He'd be like, "I hear you, brother," or like something like that. It's just like so stupid.
But I love Jeff Probst. I'm not trash talking him. I'm just saying I just love how he sticks the jabs in. Well, they've got that saucer and just dumped all the water out. They got to go back. Gee, they're really screwing this setup.
I mean, he wasn't wrong, though. This time, he wasn't wrong.
No,
man, that purple team was really bad. But yeah, we'll get into all of it. How are you two ladies doing tonight? Happy Halloween.
It is Halloween.
Did you guys dress up today?
I had on my shit emoji ears all day, but they hurt my head, and I left them downstairs, and I wish I had them on. But like I said, I have a little recovering baby. Little Phoebe Michelle had surgery today, so I can't make.
I bought all of this candy in like a nice like fun bowl for like trick-or-treaters, but nobody has rang the doorbell this evening.
Get any. So. We never get any because we don't have sidewalks.
Yeah, so well, there's tons of kids like walking around, but all the lights are on, so like they can see like people are home. But I guess people are just afraid of my apartment for whatever reason.
There's tons. There's not whatever. There's tons. There's tons of reasons. Listen, don't feel bad. I have lived in this my townhouse for 8 years. I've had no trick or treaters, none at all. But you know what? Good.
You can always put the bowl outside and let them just take it.
Yeah, just let them dump the ball.
But I wanna give it to the kids and like I don't know, because it's a good opportunity for them to learn like the word thank you. That's what I think is like one of the biggest lessons out of trick or treat. As like if you're like trying to be a good parent, I don't know.
Listen, that kid should know how to say thank you before it starts trick or treating.
Right.
I know, but it's like you reinforce it so much, like on that night especially.
What's that?
If you don't put that bowl outside, your ass is going to be fat. So put the bowl outside.
Oh, I know. It's been so tempting.
You're working out all the time. You're working out all the time. You're getting in shape. You're trying to get in survivor shape. You put that bowl outside. Let the kids eat.
You're so right. Especially watching these people starving on the episode. I just want to like dip into this candy bowl. So speaking of tonight's episode, so we start off immediately with Angelina. She tells Lyrsa, and in front of everybody in the camp, she tells her, listen, I only voted for you for like a sympathy vote so that I can get that jacket. I mean, that is like terrible Survivor gameplay 101. I mean, that's literally her saying to Lyrsa and everybody that she's willing to roll the dice on somebody's life in this game for an article of clothing. And not only that, but it's showing that like she's willing to lie in front of everybody. And so people can now like pick up on her lying cues because they've seen her and she's like validated to them that like, yeah, I did in fact lie about this.
I do love how they were all, I love how they were all sitting around making fun, kind of making fun of her, talking about how she was crying for the jacket. Give me the jacket.
Yeah. And I'm glad that they did. I'm glad that they were laughing at that because I honestly feel like the gameplay this season is very good. And I feel like maybe that shit would have flown in Ghost Island, but this season, like I'm really impressed with how easily everybody's able to spot that and say, that's terrible. Like, we're not going to put up with that.
Nobody would ask for my jacket because I wear like a baby size jacket. Like they'd have to get my jacket from the baby Gap kids.
It'd be like a sock.
It'd be like with a hole in it.
Yeah.
I wish I was waiting for Lyrsa when she got evicted. When she got eliminated. She would just take that sock and just right at her. Hey, do you want my? I'd take that jacket. I go, you want this jacket? And I'd walk right over to the fire and just put it right in it.
And then it shows up on like Ghost Island too.
Right.
Alison's jacket back from the ashes.
Yeah.
Will we reverse the curse?
There's just a cuff left.
So of course, like we see Angelina's bad gameplay with the whole jacket voting situation, and then we switch right over to the Green Tribe. Christian is trying spearfishing for the first time. I actually didn't know that it was kind of like spring-loaded, and I actually liked his like scientific explanation of like kinetic energy and stuff like that, because I had no idea how that spear thing worked. I always thought it was just like brute strength, just like kind of like throwing it forward, and I always wondered like how it did that in the water. So I learned something new on Survivor today.
What was the term that he used for stabbing? What was it? He said that was kinetic aggression, something really funny, and I didn't write it down.
So he said that like when you're loading it, when you're loading the spring, it's I think he said potential energy, right?
Kinetic energy.
When you release it is when it turns into kinetic energy.
So from now on, when I say I want to stab someone, I'm saying I'm about to release some kinetic energy all over your face with a sharp object. Do you hear me?
I like that.
I'm learning so much. I feel so smart just from watching one of my winner picks.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And Deb's winner pick.
Yeah, which is my winner pick, but we won't go there.
Right. So we see the Green Tribe. I'm really surprised at how out in the open like these brochachos are being. You know, like literally in front of the whole tribe, they're like, yeah, we're so tight, man. Rah, 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 rah. And then we get this huge, like, in my opinion, like winner's edit type of confessional from Christian, where like we get like the emotional music and everything. And he's saying like, you know, I was a David, but out here I'm turning into a Goliath, and like I'm fitting in for once in my life. And I was just like, come on. Like he's like totally like, I feel like Christian in particular is really feeding into this theme the entire season because he's such a huge fan and he knows that's what like the TV production kind of wants. And then we have a really nice reverse to that. So we see Gabby and Alison, and basically like the whole theme of their conversation is we need each other. You know, this whole David versus Goliath thing is no more. You know, like why are we like dividing ourselves when like us two are clearly on the bottom? These brochachos are a huge threat. We need to get them out, and we need to stop thinking in terms of those tribal lines. So I just thought it was a really interesting like comparison between like embracing the theme and fighting against the theme.
Yeah, with the Goliath tribe, they were never a cohesive tribe. So what's the point in trying to make it to the merge with them all there, because they all suck. and you can't trust any of them.
Well, that whole Gabby and Alison thing, I was just kind of like, I can identify with both Gabby and Alison because I just love it. Alison. Anyway, I've been the outcast. I've been friends with people who have made friends with other people and basically kind of ignored me to my face and had to gravitate towards other. And I've been the person that has befriended the person that has been, you know, kind of outcast. So I can kind of sympathize with both of them.
Yeah.
But it just seems so. Alison was so quick to gravitate towards Gabby and be like, "Oh, I would cut Dan's throat in a millisecond as he's beating the hell out of a tree."
Well,
yeah, and she really. Sorry, go ahead, Deb.
The thing is with the ladies, you know, you want to take out some of the strong guys so you have a chance.
Oh, absolutely. Especially with the merge right around the corner. We have like all of these really, in my opinion, like challenge threats going into that. We have John, we have Dan, we have Alec on the other tribe. I guarantee you next week, at least one of those guys is going to be that merge boot.
Yes.
They have to. I mean, like it's really turning into a sausage fest here. Like we're not even like in the merge yet, and half the women are gone. There have been 5 women that have left, and there's only 5 remaining, which is just crazy to me.
Yeah. And it should be the complete opposite. They should be working on getting all the strong people out in the beginning.
Exactly. But like these women just like keep targeting each other for whatever reason. And I really put a lot of that blame on Angelina and Natalia. I feel like they've always targeted women, like whether it's Natalie, whether it's Lyrsa, and like this kind of like catty like energy towards each other. It's really not paying off for them in the long run.
Like
well,
the minute,
they're just screwing themselves.
Yeah, the minute the you know, we'll joke for it 1 second. There's going to be a merge next week. You know, the minute Angelina gets over there, it's going to be bye Nick, bye Mike, don't care. No, well, you know, I just needed to get over here as fast. You know, I mean, I just needed to make it to the merge. I'm gonna blow smoke up your ass and tell you whatever you want to hear. That is exactly what's going to happen.
Right. They just showed in the coming attractions that she's coming for Christian already.
Yeah. I mean, and oh my God, I hope they don't get rid of him.
I don't think it's going to work because he is really embedded in with the bros.
Yeah. He's really good. He's really good.
And he's not going to be the first one targeted out of the bros either, which is good for him. But yeah, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I really liked the conversation that Gabby and Alison had tonight. I really liked how, like, I feel like this is the first time that Alison has really spoke like on a deeper level with like confessionals and stuff. So it was great to see her finally come to light in this episode. And I really feel like there was a lot of setup in tonight's episode for what's going to happen in the merge, in my opinion. You know, I really see this kind of tug of war between for Christian, between like the brochachos, and then we have Gabby, and now with Alison too. You know, where is Christian gonna go? And is that going to happen next week on the merge episode? It very well could. I mean, Christian could end up being like the deciding vote if it gets like a split right down the middle type of thing. I could really see that happening.
Do you think the brochachos would abandon him with the merge?
I don't see it.
I think Dan would be okay with it because he has 2 idols in his pocket.
Okay.
I really like. I see him like, and especially like, I would really feel bad if Christian's like, yeah, like I feel like included in like the popular kid for once, and then Dan and John just like totally fuck him over, you know?
Yeah, because you get away from your friends and you make new friends and you end up becoming friends with people that you aren't normally friends with. And then you get back with your other friends and they're like, why are you even conversing with this person? They're dead weight. I just don't want that kind of situation to happen. That will break my heart for Christian.
Yeah. And that would be so poetic, you know, what a classic like high school like
right. And he'll be going back
story.
And he'll be going back to Gabby.
Yeah, exactly. And it's gonna be too late for either of them, and Alison too, probably. Like we said, like these like alpha males are a huge presence going into this merge, and one of them has to go.
Yeah, they've got to start thinking ahead as far as that. And you also, I mean, I'm just like, my mind is like 100 steps ahead. Like, who in this group is going to be good at making fire, you know, on the spot? You know, who's going to be this and that? I want those people gone because I sure as hell can't make fire and I can't do all of those things. So I want that, you know, I want those people gone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they are showing Christian to be like embracing like the elements of this game type of edit. What if like he could end up being like the one that like wins the fire making challenge down the line? I could very much see that too, because they're really building him up to be like, the island is growing, the island is changing me for the better. Like very much so like David Wright in Millennials versus Gen X. You know, he went into the game being like a super nerdy, like I don't know anything about like survival and like nature and stuff. And David turned into this like awesome, like badass, like jungle man, basically by the end of the game.
I think David Wright is like one of my favorite Survivor players.
Oh yeah, his whole arc like in Millennials versus Gen X was amazing. And like when I talk about Edgic and stuff, one of the very few times it was wrong was when Edgic like fully believed that David Wright was winning Millennials versus Gen X because everybody was just so invested in his journey and stuff. It was really incredible to see.
It was an amazing journey, and it was just like the story lets everybody know, you know, the people that are, you know, scared or nervous and, you know, that it's okay to step out of your comfort zone and, you know.
Absolutely.
We've got some interesting stuff going on in the chat room. Hello, everyone, and happy Halloween to everyone. We've got Joy Con Thomas in there, Benita, we got Valencia, we got my mom, Benita, my friend Eddie Smith. Hi, Daryl. And Radical Beer 27, I haven't seen you in here before. Welcome. He said, when Angela said she wants Christian out and Christian has the Brochachos and the Mason-Dixon alliance plus Gabby. So Angela said all that. What is that in the preview for next week?
Yeah.
Angela, she wants Christian.
Man, I mean, like Angelina, like she had a really negative episode tonight, and then the first thing we see in the preview for next week is Angelina's like, I want to get Christian out. Like he's the biggest star. Blah 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 blah. Like she is just going like 100 miles a minute with all of her like strategy and talk. It's crazy.
How do you think that that's going to work out for her?
I don't think so either.
That's going to be.
I mean, she could very much so be the merge boot too. Just saying.
I could see her the first. I could see her gone in 2 weeks. If not this week, I could see her gone really good because she is running around already, throwing people under the bus and trash. Okay, this is the information. How do we know that you're not doing that? Right. You know, with other people, we have no. You
don't, and now she has like a whole tribe full of people that literally saw her like own up to a lie that she made.
Listen, Angelina is that bitch in the office. She's Karen. She's Karen in the office that throws everybody under the bus because they didn't use the TPS cover sheet. I mean, she's that bitch. I mean, seriously, she's sitting there and like, well, I did it right. And I did that. I did it, you know, and so-and-so didn't. So-and-so, you know, I can tell you everybody that's not doing the program right, blah, blah, blah. Bitch, get out of my face. I don't want to deal with you. Bye.
I guarantee you she either went to college for like marketing or public relations or something, because the way she talks is very much so somebody that's trained for like customer service, in my opinion. Like how she's like, I'm just gonna hop in here, like that's such like a CS phrase, you know, just like little things. Like every time she talks in tribal, I'm like, this sounds like a customer service representative or like a marketing person, you know? Yes, she's very corporate.
Yeah, but what it sounds like is that when they make the merge, she didn't take the time to find out what type of relationships were formed while they were apart. Because if she's going to people saying, let's go for Christian, she doesn't realize how deep Christian formed alliances with the bros.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But she, I think that she overestimates her. I think that she thinks that her like skills of talking and manipulation, like her like marketing speech, is what I'll coin it. I think that she is confident that that's all she needs. Like she doesn't need to make like personal bonds or anything. And honestly, like this is very eye-opening for me because I used to work for Apple and they really train you in terms of like how to speak to people. And I see a lot of that in her. And I see that it's not working out for her because she's not making those like genuine bonds with people. I mean, when she was on the beach talking with Nick, like she's like really working him. And then we cut to Nick, like in confessional, he's like, yeah, I don't give a shit. I'm not listening to a word she's saying, you know?
Yeah. You know, and if you think back to the last season, the reason why Wendell won was due to deep personal bonds.
Mm-hmm. You're exactly right.
And it's important in Survivor.
It is.
Because it may be the difference between winning and losing.
So I totally agree with that. So we get to the competition, and I think this is a first time we've ever seen this competition. I don't, unless
I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
Yeah, like even on Survivor Australia, like I haven't seen it. So kudos to the team. Like I'm always happy to see like 37 seasons later, like a brand new challenge. But that stone thing looked heavy as fuck. Like I felt so bad for them, like especially like with water in it too. On top of that, like that must have been so heavy.
Stone, though.
What's that?
I hope it wasn't full on solid stone. I hope it was like a faux stone.
I don't know, like that. The purple team, like it was just so fucking heavy. Like it could have been like a lighter stone and like painted or something. But I don't know. I'll have to like look at because they always post on YouTube like a challenge like preview, like behind the scenes type of thing. So maybe I'll look into it and see like if they talk about like the material or like how many pounds it was or anything. But it looks really, really unbearable and super heavy and challenging.
What got on my nerves during that challenge is how the purple team, everybody's like, oh, they're not giving up. That's the Survivor Series. I saw nothing but giving up. I mean, I could be wrong, but they kept stopping and resting. My hands are hurting, this and this and this. And they kept stopping. They weren't filling it all the way up with water. Yeah. I mean, and at the very end, Mike lost his grip and dropped it, and they did make it. I mean, even if they... But then again, I could see they did have the survivors and they were trying, but there was just so much bitching and complaining the whole time. It's like, well, they've already got the puzzle pieces. Well, they're already there. I don't give a fuck where they are. You need to be paying attention to what's going on right here. And we ain't putting enough fucking water in here. We've been up here 6 times. Our well isn't full yet. Come on, people. $1 million? You better find some. You better dig deep. You better dig deep. Throw that thing on my little back. I will carry that shit. I'm a mother. I will stop a car from hitting my child. Do you hear me? I will pick that shit up by myself. Get out the way. Let's go.
Well, I don't know. I rarely think that like it comes down to like just brute strength. Like I always think that there's some kind of element to it that works in like the physically not as strong players' advantage. But I really think this is one of those rare instances where they just didn't have the brute strength for this. Like, just depending on like how heavy that stone is, but they fucked themselves over from the very start because like the very first time that they put water in it, they didn't fill it up all the way. And then like half of like their already empty thing like fell out like when they got up on the balance beam. What they should have done right then and there is say, you know what, let's go back. Let's just refill it all the way instead of carrying just like literally just like a little like bottle of water like to that well.
It was a waste.
It's a waste of time and such a waste of energy too, which clearly they didn't have. You
know who would have won that challenge to not quit?
Me.
Natalie. Oh, it's all about you, isn't it? Natalie would have been like, pick it up. What are you stopping for? She would have kept on going. I'm gonna run your ass over with this big old saucer. You better move.
That's
better
true.
Go.
They would have been like so afraid. They would have been like too much in fear to drop. Like their adrenaline would have been like pumping them through it.
She would have been berating them the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they definitely would have had more energy. They just wanted to get it the fuck over.
Somebody get more fluid in here. Somebody start spitting. Do something.
Yeah. She's about to drop some napalm if you don't stop.
Somebody take a piss in here. Do something. Pee in it. I don't care.
Also, I was really impressed to see like the Green Tribe had a really great showing in tonight's episode between like the brochachos being all harmonious and then Alison and Gabby like connecting and stuff. And then they in one go, they get like the the well to like raise up enough to start the puzzle. I was super impressed with them because that challenge, like not only does it take a lot of brute strength, but it also just really requires a lot of coordination, especially when getting up on the balance beam. Like, that's really when like a majority of the water was lost, like on the orange and purple teams.
I could see the green team sticking together even after the merge, because at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, David and Goliath, whatever, we need to go back to where we came from. No, because if you're in a group like that and you're consistently winning, why not stay in that alliance?
Yeah.
And keep pushing, get rid of everything, and worry about eating each other alive later.
Yeah. So the purple tribe, obviously we see them go to tribal, but first we go to the orange tribe, and you know, Elizabeth, she's tired. I'm tired of being patient. I've been patient and I haven't said anything, and now I'm gonna grit my teeth because I'm so angry. Alison, what did you think about this?
Here's the thing. I'm all about wanting to make sleeping conditions better.
Yeah.
But why would you start a project a few hours before the sun is going to go down? And I mean, this is some shit that should have, you know, oh, you're going to bitch about how we've been talking about it, but we sure hadn't done it yet. Well, whose fault is that? You can't blame everybody in the camp for that. If it is that big of a problem and you are in that much pain, bitch, you should have started it day 2. Don't wait day 16 to start doing it. And let me tell you something. If my ass is finally taking a good nap, you're going to find that machete and hammer in a very unpleasant place. If you
not only that, but she uses the excuse of like, I've been patient, I haven't said anything, blah, 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 blah. But like, that's not like, the other people shouldn't be rewarding that. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't get some like small, like, do you want like a cookie or a small parade for not speaking up about your problems? Like, if you had a problem, you should have mentioned it so that people could have like made that a priority a lot sooner.
Right. The thing is, if she had a problem and no one wanted to help her with it, why hasn't she been splitting the logs since the problem started?
Right. You know, because people aren't fucking mind readers.
What's that?
I said because people aren't fucking mind readers. That's what.
They're not in the same pain that she's in.
She should have started splitting the logs on her own and piled them up until she had enough to change out the bed.
Why isn't she sleeping in the net or the hammock thing? Because that looks way more comfortable.
Do they have a hammock?
She was sitting on something. I don't know. It looked like a net of some kind, and she was just kind of swaying it. And I'm like, dude, sleep in that.
I wonder if there's like a rule that like production says like you can't like sleep in the hammock.
No, because people have slept on the beach. They've talked about staring up at the sky and sleeping on the beach. They've done it a million times. Okay. I mean, I guess you just get to that breaking point where, look, I have a little bit of lower back pain as well. And if I'm in that much pain, then I'm going to go to the group and say, look, I'm hurting. Can we, it would be beneficial if we started putting stuff together. And I'm a tiny little person. I'm not a threat. So helping me out is not going to threaten your game, as where they probably would have been like, you know what, Elizabeth is a little bit of a threat. Maybe she does need to be in pain. Maybe she does need to hurt a little bit. Seriously, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but I'd be like, if she's winning stuff and she's pushing forward, that hurts my game. And I'm the little devil over here going, oh, okay, so that's I'm gonna go hide the machete and the hammer. Where did it go? Up and not here.
How very Sandra of you.
Yeah, that's why I love Sandra so much.
She threw attention to herself, and she's making herself a target by complaining like so vigorously. Like there's no reason to like blow up about it. You know, just kindly explain that you have an issue and that you need help, but don't start it 2 hours before dark.
You know who I really liked in this moment? I really liked Kara in this moment. We cut to her and she's like, you know, I don't like confrontation. I avoid it in real life. But a part of me is really enjoying this in Survivor because it's a lot of dissension between the Davids, and that's exactly what I need. That's exactly what she needs to be thinking right now. So good on her for thinking about that.
I mean, it's true. You know, just sit there and let the other people argue and do what they need to do and stay in the background and eat that popcorn, because don't assert yourself. Don't get in the middle of it, you know, unless it's just don't get in the middle of it. I wouldn't. Yeah. I mean, if it's that bad, do we need to go get a damn helicopter and air back your ass out? I don't think so. Shush. If you're in that much pain, why are you on Survivor? I'm not trying to be a dick. But if you have
I totally agree with that.
How did you get on fucking Survivor if you couldn't even
exactly what I was thinking.
Go take a piss because your back hurt.
Right.
Like, I would never go on Survivor because I live in chronic pain. I would never even think about it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, you have to be cleared by, like, so many medical professionals to even, like, be on the show. So if this really was true and she, like, couldn't even like stand basically 4 weeks before going out on the show, I feel like production would have intervened and say like, listen, like your back is not in good enough shape. So I really think that she's kind of you know, playing the story up a little bit.
Yeah, it's like, just say you're uncomfortable. Just say, look, I'm being a bitch right now because I'm severely uncomfortable. I can't fucking sleep. I'm gonna tear someone a new asshole if we want to get this bamboo split in half. Does anybody have a problem with that? No? Okay, then let's just do it. Don't sit there and give me a little sob story.
But the thing is, she didn't need to do the whole bed. She could have just done the area where she sleeps.
Yeah,
that's true.
You know, because you have all these bamboo things. She could have just split the one area where she sleeps and just leave it at that.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
But then again, you're inconveniencing everyone else, because what if my little ass falls asleep right there? You gonna move me? I don't think so.
Well, no, it's just, you know, if she can get it done before, you know, before it gets dark, just do your spot and then, you know, do the rest another time.
Yeah. We have Thomas the Talker in the chat. He's asking, who do you guys think will become the merge villain? I said Angelina. What do you guys think?
I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would hate her.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's man, she's really like,
you don't love to hate her.
She's that PR nightmare.
Yeah. Like I don't love to hate her like I love to hate Natalie, because Natalie was just entertaining and you just loved it. Like I was just waiting for her to boss away. Like Angela's like, shut up.
Yeah.
Just shut up. Can you imagine if I was there with Angelina? I'd be following her around. I'm like, who are you gonna go tattle Snitchy McSnitcherton to now with your big mouth, sitting there telling everybody's business? Bye.
Also, RHAP did a exit interview with Natalie. They do one for everybody, but I highly recommend you guys listen to the one with Natalie. It was really entertaining, and I forget like what all exactly she said. I don't remember if there was like any kind of new information that wasn't shown on the TV.
And I can't remember it.
But I remember really enjoying it, because I usually skip a lot of the exit interviews, but I wanted to hear what she had to say, because you're exactly right. Like she's like that villain that you love to hate, compared to like Angelina, who's just like, you know, she's that butt, like that fly that like bites you, and then you like can't like smack it for some reason.
Oh, I'd smack it.
Well, right, but like she just like flies away before you can like get her. Another note that I had was, I feel like Mike, especially in this episode, but also in other episodes past too, he's really hyper aware and really harping on like the original tribe numbers. And I don't really see anybody else talking about that as much. You know, we even see Gabby and Alison today saying like, you know, the Davids versus Goliaths is no longer a thing. You know, we are all equal players in this game. But Mike is constantly saying like, oh, like we're going to be down in Davids, or we're going to be down in Goliaths. And, oh, if I take out another Goliath, what will like the other two tribes think of me? I feel like his allegiances are really like outdated at this point. And I'm really curious to see like if he's going to try to like really harp on like Goliath strong once they get into merge.
I think this is the perfect season when you're doing David versus Goliath, the kind of scenario to split the tribes up in 3. I think it works out better that way than splitting them up in 2 because it forces stronger bonds and it forces stronger relationships with people who probably normally wouldn't have that. And that throws a monkey wrench into the merge, especially for the people like Angelina, who are going to go into it thinking everything's going to go back to the way it was. And I have a funny feeling that Mike might be a victim to that as well, because he's going to go back into the situation thinking maybe all the Goliaths are going to work together. Honey, bitch, that's it. Ship has sailed. Yeah. It is gone. It's out to sea. It got hit by an iceberg, and we're going to call it the Titanic. It's gone.
Yep. No, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my big question marks in terms of who is going to go where is I'm really curious to see where Nick is going to go. I'm really curious to see where Davie and Carl go also. I'm curious if that Mason-Dixon line connection will come into play at all. Like if Nick will side with Christian and whether or not that leans him one way or another, like if he wants to go with the Brochachos or if he wants to go with Gabby and Alison. I think that Nick will have a lot of influence in terms of where Christian goes, which I think changes like the trajectory of the rest of the season.
Tyler, who were the 2 that posted their picture on social media prior?
Yeah, so that was Alec and Kara. So you know, we see another thing I wanted to point out was like Dan, like he's saying like all I need is Kara back. Like I miss her. I have 2 idols, but like I still miss Kara, and like my game would be better with her. You know, like at some point, Alec and Kara are going to have like a really tight bond. So I was curious if Alec was going to go tonight, because then he would have been with the pre-jury and Kara would have been with the jury members. You know what I'm saying? Like they wouldn't have had that time like once they're voted out together. So, you know, let that maybe like sway like who you think is going when, but I definitely think that Kara and Alec, like they start to bond like once they get voted out.
I could play devil's advocate here, but they both could get voted out pretty early in the merge and have a lot of time on Ponderosa together. It may not even be a thing. Yeah. That's
what I'm saying is that like I think that like their bond is definitely going to happen like outside of their time in the game. So I think that like Alec and Kara will be like one of the first few that get voted out in the merge here.
You know, it hit me really hard in this episode. You know, I've always bitched about, oh, I hate it when they split the tribes up in 3s. But I think for me, for the first time, and I could be wrong, and I probably am, and Tyler will be quick to, yes, point it out. This is the first time that I've really seen the tribes split like this and real bonding has taken place. I mean, am I wrong, or is this?
So Reality Blurred, it's one of my favorite news sources for reality TV that I love to read. It's the longest running blog for reality television. He posted a really great article today about why this season is so great. And why like we are so much more invested in a lot of these characters, especially compared to the dumpster fire that was Ghost Island. And they said, and I totally agree with this, the editing is so much better. Like we really have a sense of everybody as a character in this game. And I think that it's making us a lot more invested in the outcome of the season. Like these characters are so much more like fleshed out, so much more rich. And we are given reasons to root for or against every single one of them.
Tyler, show me what my edit would look like if I were on Survivor.
It would be like a mix of Elizabeth and Natalie.
Holy shit. I don't think I like. What are you talking about? I am not Elizabeth just because we'd both see it. It would be okay. Okay.
You'd be Natalie with a country hat.
I'd be like, I would be like, I don't know what I would be like. I would just be like, you guys are killing me all fucking talking. We need to build a bed. Apparently split bamboo too, because this bitch is about to break in half if we don't do that. I don't know why y'all staring at that fire. It ain't gonna burn itself. Somebody needs to get on their knees and start blowing.
I just like am picturing in my mind like there's like one like quick like zoom in shot of you like with like your arms crossed like this, and you're just this like little like short little old lady just like at something.
I hate everyone. I can't reach anything. I can't help. I look incredibly weak right now. There's bugs living inside my body, I'm convinced. This is a nightmare. Why am I here? I wanted to be on Big Brother. But then again, I could have the David Wright edit and fucking turn into Laura Croft Tomb Raider. And y'all be like, who is this bitch? Can you imagine?
Yeah, I think the first timeline is probably more accurate.
And Tyler,
what would your edit be?
Oh,
what would Deb's edit be?
Deb would be in the corner judging. Here's the thing, and I would be right there with her. We said this last week. We'd be sitting over there like, these bitches have no idea what we're going to do to them.
Deb, I think your edit would very much so be like Michelle Fitzgerald, like the winner of Co Wrong, like somebody who's like really like under the radar in terms of like being an actual threat. But you have these confessionals where you're like, I don't need like a guy to tell me what to do, bro. I know, like all these like great sound bites like behind the scenes and stuff. And you would have a computer to have like a GIF on command like at all times.
Exactly. And Tyler, your edit would be your edit. I've got this on lock. I got everybody doing what I want to do. I'm running the show. I know this game. This is going to happen. They have no idea what hit them. And then meanwhile, they cut to me going, the first fucking opportunity I get, Tyler's fucking, I can't take it anymore. Oh, I watch Etsy. Oh, I know I've memorized every winner and every player. So who gives a flying fuck? Are any of these people going to come down here and build a motherfucking fire in the rain? No, and you're not going to do it either.
Listen,
can I have your jacket?
I think I would have a very Stephen Fishback kind of edit in terms of being that like nerdy super fan that's kind of a little overbearing sometimes. So I agree with that.
I think you would do great, Tyler. I think you would blend in and you would definitely make it to the merge. I think that they would drag my limp, lifeless body just around the beach until the very end. Like I'd be a rag doll. They'd just be pulling. She's stuck on something. Can somebody find out what that is? Okay, on the count of 3, Alison, I'm just gonna pull. Okay, and if it comes off, it comes off. And I'm laying there just as long as it's not my stunt hair. Does it look pretty?
I pay a lot of money for it.
I've been exfoliating my face with sand, and I've been exfoliating my teeth too.
I left my cats for this.
I've been exfoliating my fucking teeth with sand. I have no enamel left.
Alison, if you won the $1 million, can you promise me right here that at least some of that money would go towards redecorating your home?
I hate you with a passion by the devil's hatred for Jesus. Do you understand?
The dolls go away tomorrow? Is that
okay? Here's the thing about you. You're J. And I understand it, and I respect. Look, the dolls are going in the bin tomorrow. There will be no Halloween dolls.
Where does the bin go?
The bin goes in the attic. It goes in the side attic that's closest to my bedroom, so they don't melt.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
That? What?
I don't know. I didn't hear anything.
See, I don't know at all. We would be the 3 of us, and you two would be like, yes, Alison, we're together till the end. This is us. We're together.
I know not to take Deb to the end because she'll vote for you over me.
Oh no, because here's the thing. Meanwhile, you guys are like, we got to hold on till the end. You and Deb are going to be in a corner holding each other, shaking, going, we just got to make it a few more days and we can get rid of this little bitch. This little yapping chihuahua with rabies.
Send her back to her dolls and her cat.
Jesus Christ. Can we do something to her to get a med vac? Like, dear survivor gods, can you smack this bitch with a wave? Not even a wave. She's small. Hit her with some puddle water.
Oh my God.
Something. Can she trip on her hair? Can we trip on the stunt hair? Does it count as murder if we strangle her with her stunt hair because it technically doesn't belong to anybody? It's not living.
Jeff is like, yeah, that would count, Tyler. Sorry.
Jeff, we hold my stunt hair because they making me participate in this motherfucker today. And I don't want to be doing this challenge today because we're in water again, because everything's got to have water in it.
Are you a good swimmer?
Hell no, honey. I doggy paddle with floaties on. What are you talking about? I float around in the pool with glitter sunglasses on. I got my hair up. I don't want to get wet. I maybe roll around for a minute. I have a nose guard.
Oh my God.
I have a nose guard on my nose. I'm styling, profiling. Y'all are going to see me on that beach with a nose guard on, and I'm going to bring it back.
And like a noodle. I can picture you with like a noodle.
Water wings.
Yeah.
Water wings. Jeff,
Deb, are you a good swimmer?
I need my wild
swim. I wouldn't say I'm a good swimmer, but I can swim. I can swim.
Gotcha.
I can float. You know, enough to save my life. The only problem is I get anxiety being out in the open water.
Mm.
If there's nothing for me to grab onto anywhere,
yeah,
then I kind of have a freak out. But yeah, I can swim.
Oh, I can't be out in the middle of that. I just hope whatever shark gets me eats me quick. And from the top down, not from the bottom up. Like, I don't want to be eaten that way.
And they will, because you're like a little appetizer.
I'm just an appetizer. I'm not the entree.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know.
Deb, that's what we'll do. We'll give her a paper cut so that the sharks are like they're like sniffing like Allison's blood, and then she gets bit by a shark, and then that's the medevac.
I'll up you. I'll start my nervous period, because girls do that in extreme situations.
Yeah,
I mean, we'll send her out snorkeling to catch some fish while she's on her period.
Exactly. Perfect.
No, the camera crews follow me out there. There's this red cloud constantly around me, like Pigpen from Peanuts. It's a period cloud.
That's disgusting.
I'm gonna be that nasty bitch on Survivor.
Oh my God.
That's gonna be me. That's how I'm gonna be known. Every moment up to my life, I'll be that nasty bitch with the period cloud. It'll surpass the aqua dump. It'll just be me with period water. And I'm going to be like, why y'all have to follow me everywhere? Y'all know what's happening over here. Why are you doing this to me?
All right. That's enough.
The show.
Good Lord.
No, because if I get a paper cut on Survivor, they're going to have to air vac me, because it's going to get it's going to get infected.
Yeah.
Like, I don't trust any of these bitches to pee on it. I don't even trust my own urine. I can't even produce urine. Y'all have me out here so long with nothing. Have you seen what's coming out of my body? Exactly.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm good. Thank you.
Because, see, I'd ask Tyler to pee on my finger, and he would misfire on purpose and hit me in the damn face. Just for fun. Just to get it in the stunt hair.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Okay, anyway, next.
I think that's all we really have. I mean, like we talked about the tribal like at the very beginning, but sad to see Lyrsa go. We all think that she probably should not have gone tonight. I don't think it really benefits anybody's game moving forward that Angelina's there instead of Lyrsa, especially with the merger on the corner. You guys are exactly right. Like, Lyrsa would have been a really great goat to take to the end, especially because Lyrsa isn't like very fluent in English. Like, I feel like she would have that same problem that Ty had in Survivor Go Wrong, where he just can't really give like a really fluent and convincing speech at the end.
But her English is way better than his, though. Like,
oh, I know, but it still isn't like a natural, like, convincing. And I'm not like trying to be like a racist or anything, but like it doesn't have that fluidity that like a native English speaker has.
It's not like it's his 90-day fiance, and they've got one of these bitches trying to marry some nasty slob to get a green card. Barely can speak any. It's just humiliating.
Yeah,
you know. But yeah, I can see what your point. But yeah, so Lyrsa went home tonight. I'm not happy about it. I think it was a big mistake. I will never understand the logic behind that decision. And I'm sure Mike, I just really don't understand why they did that. But I cannot wait to hear what Lyrsa has to say about it. I mean, she's got to be, I don't know.
And the thing is, she would have stayed loyal to them. And
exactly.
Yeah.
She would have always been a vote to keep them.
Yep.
But sometimes
she's that kind of person.
But but Mike is so hung up on the Goliaths are going to get back together, and he doesn't think he needs her. And that's the problem. Is you think your friends are still going to accept you when they've hit a new crowd, and that's not. It goes so many ways. This season goes back to high school. It's like
he's discounting like the feelings that he has towards the people. Like, that feeling of dread that, oh no, we have to vote somebody out now and I don't want to have to do that. Well, how do you think the other tribes are feeling right now also? Don't you think they're bonded like that too? You have to think about that.
Yeah. The person that you were tight with, how long have they been in 3 tribes? How many days has it been?
I think 9.
So 9 out of 16 days, you've been with these new people longer than your original. So you have to think about that also, I believe, when you're voting. Okay, I've got these people and I'm close to these people now. I'm closer to these people than I am, where are their heads, the other people, where are their heads at? You got to almost think as if those other people don't exist to a certain extent.
And forget all the dissension that was in the Goliath tribe. Like they were never a tight group. Never.
No. Well, anything else for tonight? Anybody?
They've been it's on day 18, so they've been in the original tribes for 9 days and these swap tribes for 9. So we're right down the middle. But but you're right. I mean, like it is like definitely a stronger bond moving forward.
It's a more intimate setting when it's a smaller.
That's a really good way to put it, actually.
Thank you.
No, but seriously though, like you're right. It is like an intimate more setting. I mean, like with these bigger tribes of 2, it's really and there's like so many studies on this in terms of like a group think, like a mob mentality type of thing. Yeah. And when it's like 5 voices instead of 10 voices, your voice is a lot louder and a lot more independently thinking.
It's almost like in Big Brother when the house splits.
Yeah,
it never splits down the middle. There's always this dominating group, this middle group that goes both ways, considered floaters. And then you have the third group that's kind of hated and everyone's down, but outcasts. You keep around the outcast. So you have the popular, the outcast, and the floater. And so you kind of have, it's very similar in a way. Because you tend to forget about those people in the middle for a while because the other 2 groups are so focused on eating each other. You want to be that floater. You want to be in the middle. You want to be doing things and planting seeds and watch them grow. So both of the sides are eating what you're planting and growing. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right. No, I totally agree.
Well,
who do you guys think is the merch boot?
Well, that's what I was just going to say. Either Angelina is going to have someone, that we really like targeted, or it's going to like spectacularly blow up in her face and it'll be Angelina.
What do you think, Alison?
I think Angelina is going to stir the pot, but I think they're leading us to believe that because we're merely going off a less than 30-second dumpster fire of a preview for next week. Because right now we're thinking it could be Christian. Right now we're thinking Alec is telling Christian he has his back and he's okay. And then you've got Angelina exposing all of his alliances and everybody he's with. And it's like, how the fuck does she know all this?
Yeah.
How did she obtain all this information? Who is feeding it to her? And you got to think about maybe who is feeding her that information. Maybe that person could be up for elimination. There's endless possibilities. But in a perfect world, it would be Angelina because you don't want that little Karen around. Sorry for anybody whose name is Karen, but it's not my fault. Blame your parents.
I really never take like too much stock into like what the preview is showing us anyway, because like last week, for instance, like they showed us in the preview that Alison and Gabby were tired of being like on the outs, and then they also showed Elizabeth and Davie fighting over the stupid shelter thingy. But then we see Lyrsa go home. You know what I mean? Like it's not really an indicator of necessarily who's going home that week.
Right.
So, just like the like most like dramatic like moments, you know.
And that's why, you know, because you never really know what's going to happen. I mean, there's spoilers, but there aren't, you know what I'm saying? Like you just have to wait until next week. And I think that is something that we lack with Big Brother. I think Big Brother, you know, you could say a lot of people who follow Big Brother don't follow Survivor because they got to have it now. They got to have that information now. As where people like us can go both ways. I can be patient and I can wait with Survivor, but also I can get caught up in the impatience and everything that comes along with Big Brother. And it's nice to kind of have that break after covering Big Brother for so long to come into the nice pace of Survivor. And we'll do that when we get into Amazing Race as well. You know, you gotta wait. You don't really know what's gonna happen. So
absolutely.
That's just
with Big Brother, it feels like you're like feasting like 24/7 on new content. But with Survivor, you're always like hungry for that next bite. You know what I mean?
Right. And with that being said, I think that for tonight's show.
Wait. My boot prediction is Alec. I really think that he's going home.
Sorry. You know,
that's it.
Is that was two idols?
No, Alec is the surfer dude, the one that posted the Instagram picture.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Angelina. You'll go with Alec. And who do you think, Deb?
I said Angelina.
Okay, so we're going with Angelina. You're gonna go with Alec. Okay.
I'd be okay with either timeline, so we'll see.
Yeah, either one works for me. I really haven't invested very much in Alec because they really haven't shown him that much. And Angelina, they've shown me too much. Especially in those.
I'm so worried that she's like.
Especially in those pants that she's wearing. I'm seeing a lot. She definitely doesn't have an idol in her pants. Okay?
Yeah, she's got maybe like an animal of some kind. But
camel.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm worried that like Angelina's gonna turn like her power is going to grow instead of people being like, who is this bitch type of thing. You know, she very well could. End up being this like huge like villainous like presence and make it to the end.
Yeah, but you know how you got that friend, the Karen in the group that just brings everyone to Debbie, and then you get away from her, and then you meet these new people, and you're like, oh my God, there are there are positive people, there are other people in the world, and then you all get back together, and she starts again, and it's like,
but she, I totally agree with you that she is like that, but she's got a presence that's kind of fearful, you know, and fear is a really strong motivator in a game like Survivor.
Right. All right. Well, thank you everyone who hung out with us tonight. I know it's kind of a slow night tonight. It's Halloween and everybody who has a life is out. But you know what? We have lives too. And just because you're not out doing shit and you're watching a show and we're doing this doesn't mean we ain't got no life. So get off your little high horse and put it back in the stable. Okay? Because we ain't got time for it.
Zero.
We might have a special guest next week. That's all I'm going to say.
Also, one little more bit of news. Survivor Australia announced today that they're doing another season of Champions versus Contenders, which I am very excited about because it just makes the game like so much more epic with like the Olympic athletes that they picked and stuff like that. So I'm really excited to see.
Is it over?
Just bring him back.
Oh, I didn't know Australia. It was over. Y'all, we never did we never did another show.
Yeah, we need to coordinate that.
Who won? Who won? Can we say?
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, tell me.
Shane Gold beat Sharn by a 5-4 vote. Shane is the older. She's the old Olympic swimmer.
Shane is the oldest woman, the old lady, and Sharn was the attorney.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
Shane Gold says, "Don't fuck with Shane Gold."
Shane Gold.
Shane Gold. Awesome. That's great.
Yeah, she was really incredible to watch. That season was amazing.
All right. Yeah. Anything else, guys?
Nope.
All right. So, like we said, it's a slow night tonight. Thank you for hanging out with us, spending your Halloween with us. We will be back next week to cover Survivor episode 7, and we really appreciate it. Please subscribe to My Weekly Meltdown on YouTube. Also, please like the page on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram at the.memphis.darling and on Twitter at Summers, SOMMERS 1977. Please follow my cat on Instagram. It's Finleys_Insty, Finleys Insty, FINLEYS_INSTI, Finleys Insty. Growing. We're up to 70. He's got 70 followers, y'all.
God.
That's pretty good for a cat.
That's ridiculous.
I bet you little Phoebe Michelle, though, would get a lot. I've been posting some stuff for her, and there's a little sibling rivalry going on right now.
Really?
Yeah, it's a like who gets more likes. Phoebe beat Finley on the last 2 posts. Interesting.
Cool.
Anyway, yeah, so you can find Deb. Deb, you're on the TV Party app at Deb Gochran. Is that what you're under? Or
Deborah G. Just
Deborah G. Just Deborah G, DEBORAHG on the TV Party app. And also you can find her on all other social media at My Next Life Debbie, and that's with a DEBI. And I'm going to try this. You can find Tyler on social media at TLyons, at TLYONZZ.
Amazing. Oh my God. It only took like, what seems like 50 years, but you got
actually, it's TLIONZZ.
All right, where's that mute button? There we go. All right, so thank you everybody so much for watching, and we will talk to you guys next week. So
tell you something about you. Put me on mute, mother. Listen. I don't have anything to say now. I'm still working on my crap show, my crap talk show where we talk crap, and it's about. And I put together a squad, y'all, and it's going to be an amazing group of people. So I cannot wait to get that going. So be on the lookout for that. Send me an email, memphisdarling@gmail.com. I want to know what shows you're watching. I want to know if you're watching 90 Day Fiancé. Send me a list of the shows that you are watching. I sat at lunch the other day at work and I watched Dr. Pimple Popper on TLC.
What the fuck?
While I'm eating. That's the kind of person I am, okay? And
I could definitely watch it while I'm eating.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Come on. What time does that come on?
I watch it on the app. I don't watch it live. I have no idea when it actually comes on. I just watch it on the app. And I gave you my login so you can watch it too. For my TLC.
I have a thing now. I can get
to okay. Okay, good. All right, guys. That is it. But seriously, Memphis Darling as one long word at gmail.com. In the subject, put TV shows. No, in the subject, put crap TV shows or TV shows, whatever. Like anyone's going to fucking email me. Every time I say nobody has emailed me. No one. I don't know why I do this.
Not even unsolicited dick pics. Come on, people.
I don't even get unsolicited dick pics. And remember to
be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, and and remember to hug your parents and tell them you love them, because you never know what's around the corner. Always be appreciative of the loved ones around you, and forgiveness is a big thing. That's my words of wisdom for the week. So love you guys. And we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.